Hello again. This segment I'm entitling The Devil in the Detail, or maybe more appropriately, The Devil's in the Details. I'm going to try to keep this relatively short because I want you to grasp exactly what has happened and what I'm about to present to you with regard to the receiver and the attorney for Liberty Bell Bank. I mentioned in the previous presentation that from the very beginning, they have been trying to discredit me, mainly to the court. And evidently they have succeeded to some degree because I cannot understand how the court has allowed the receiver to do what he's done to my company during the past year or so. I have here a portion of a report that the receiver recently submitted to the court. It is a report, a statement of receipts and disbursements. It shows that between the receiver and his attorney, they billed my company, the LGR Group companies, over $300,000. Over $300,000 in a little more than a year. They've already been paid almost $250,000, with another 100,000 or so pending that's up for approval, which I'm sure the court will approve again, despite my objections. I've asked the court, why are we paying the receiver to destroy my company? I've complained to the judge that he's done nothing to really earn that money. It's a travesty. Let me give you an example of what the receiver and the attorney have done to earn, and I use that term loosely, the money. I have here a string of emails. Again, I mentioned that they are trying to discredit me. And I've already told the court that I believe their biggest nightmare is that the truth will rise. The truth will come out. Here's something, and again, the court has this information. Now, whether they've acted on it or not, I don't know. Maybe they're mulling over it, but I submitted this several months ago. It is evidence that the receiver and the attorney have been less than honest with me and with the court. Early on, I had heard rumors that they were selling my equipment to one of my former employees at pennies on the dollar. I asked for a meeting. I requested a meeting. At first, they resisted, but I sent them an email telling them I had some concerns about what was going on with the sale of my equipment. I had heard rumors that they were going to send someone in to pick up some equipment from my location at 80 High Street and also from my warehouse. I had heard rumors that they were looking at selling University Copy Service for a small fraction of what it was worth. And I also shared with them I had heard rumors about them selling equipment to John Napoli. So I requested a meeting. And the receiver's attorney sent me an email saying, well, let us know exactly what you want to talk about so we can decide whether a meeting is necessary. Well, they finally agreed to the meeting. But in his email, and the email was dated June 25th, he was trying to allay my concerns, stating that while the court had given them the marching orders to run my company, that any request, any motion to sell equipment would have to be approved by the court, and I would have the opportunity to object or comment on any motion. In other words, he was telling me they had not sold equipment, and if they were going to sell, it would have to be approved by the court, and I would be notified. And I returned an email to him the next day on June 26th. I think it was at 8:10. I'm using that time because it's significant. Because 9 minutes later, again, at that email I sent to him at 8:10, I said that his words were comforting, but they were not consistent with what I had heard. I had heard that he had already sold equipment to John Napoli. Marty Melman, who was the receiver, sent me an email 9 minutes later simply stating that they had been receiving proposals and we would discuss it on our meeting on Friday. Well, they never mentioned anything about selling any equipment. They led me to believe that they were simply entertaining proposals and nothing had been sold. The attorney for the receiver said nothing would be sold without going through the court first and getting permission, and I would be notified. Well, that was on June 26th. I have here a letter dated June 16th, 10 days prior to our string of emails. And this letter is addressed to whom it may concern. And it serves as notification that Pyramid Solutions, LLC, has purchased the title to the copiers listed below. Below are listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copiers that were sold to John Napoli, Pyramid Solutions. Again, this letter is dated June 16th, 10 days before they told me that they would not sell equipment, and if they did, it would have to go to the court first. John Napoli went into one of my customers armed with this letter signed by the receiver, Marty Melman. He was also armed with an invoice from Pyramid Solutions for $500. In other words, he bought my equipment from the receiver at I don't know what price. I've asked the court to get that information. They haven't gotten it to me yet. And sold it for $500, eliminating any chance of us getting future revenue from that equipment. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are more devils and more detail to come. Please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. There's much more yet to come. Thank you.